All right, hey guys, welcome to the video. If you're new here, my name is Curtis, and today we're gonna be talking about green fragrances.
So why are we talking about green fragrances?
First of all, as you guys know, the winter is kind of winding down here and spring is right around the corner. So I thought it was the perfect time to talk about green fragrances. And I typically tend to gravitate towards green fragrances during the springtime. Spring is a season of new opportunity, new growth, new life. And I feel like green fragrances represent that perfectly. And I just love how they make me feel. Like they just make me feel so refreshed and like energized, bright, kind of clean. So yeah, they have a really good vibe about them and they just fit perfectly in the springtime. So I've gone through my collection and chosen 5 green fragrances that are oh so good. So if you're curious to hear my thoughts and opinions on these fragrances, then let's go. First up, from the house of Bastille, we have Hors-Piste. So yeah, I'm probably butchering the pronunciation on this one, but yeah, I think it's pronounced Hors-Piste, but I could be wrong. However, this is such a bright, green, vibrant, juicy fragrance. This has some mandarin orange in it, and when you smell this fragrance, the orange in this smells extremely realistic. Not only are you smelling the orange and that juiciness, but you're also smelling the peel and the rind of this orange. It comes off just very realistic. It's extremely well done. And one thing that I really enjoy about this house is that they really take into consideration the environment when they're creating these fragrances. All of their fragrances are vegan friendly. They are 95% natural, and the other 5% comes from vegan friendly materials. So, and if you go to their website, they will list all the materials that they've used in this fragrance. So, you can see all of the naturals and then all of the vegan friendly materials. But yeah, this is a gorgeous wear. This has like moderate sillage, moderate projection, but like I said before, the mandarin oranges in this come off so like natural and juicy and plump. You almost want to eat it. It's just such a refreshing fragrance. There is also a slight bitterness in here. You have some mate tea. So whenever mate tea is kind of used in fragrances, to me, the way I pick that up, it kind of gives it almost like an earthy greenness. And that's kind of what I'm getting here, almost like grass, I guess, in a way. And that's kind of what I'm getting here in this fragrance. But it's just blended extremely well, and it is a beautiful wear. I mean, this one fits perfectly in the spring, but it works extremely well in the summer. And the other thing I like about Bastille is that they have 100 mil, 50 mil, and 15 mil. And so I just went with the 15 mil here. And you guys probably saw in a previous video, I also introduced another fragrance from that house called Paradis Nuit, which is just an amazing kind of soapy style of fragrance, but it is a gorgeous wear. And I'm so impressed with this house. And, not only are their fragrances really good, but I just like the direction that they're going in with consideration towards the environment. But yeah, this is a great one and definitely one to check out. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Hors-Piste by Bastille. Next up, from the house of Nishane, we have Ambra, Calabria. Okay, you guys, this fragrance is so good, and it's probably one of my favorites from the house of Nishane, if not my favorite. It is right up there. But this is such a gorgeous composition. It is the perfect combination of green notes and then kind of sweeter ambery style of notes. But it's not like the cloyingly sweet ambery notes. It's a very light kind of amber. So that's why you can wear this one any season, like in the spring, summer, even fall and winter. It is that versatile. And I think that's one of the other reasons why I really like this fragrance. But basically upon initial spray, you do get kind of like a bitter green citrusy effect going on. And then as you start to move into the dry down, you get some like ambery and vanillic style notes that start to push forward. But like I said, they are very light in nature, but they do have the intensity to perform. And that's something that I really, really enjoy about this fragrance. So, I mean, if you're looking to be taken on a journey, go with a fragrance like this. This is a fragrance that is non-linear. Like you put this on, you put this one on, you're like, oh wow, this is just kind of like a green citrusy fragrance. It transforms completely. And that's something that I really, really like about this one. However, even though it's transformed, it still has that freshness kind of appeal about it that I really, really enjoy. And I think this one was perfumed by one of my favorite perfumers, Jorge Lee. He has just knocked it out of the park with this one. I really, really love this one, and it's definitely one to check out. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Ambra Calabria by Nishane. Next up, from the house of Anthologie, we have Cedre Mutine. So this is just very green, citrusy, a little bit floral, juicy, and slightly bitter. But man, what a gorgeous wear this is. And when I wear this one too, I'm almost getting kind of like a soil-like effect. I know soil kind of makes it sound dirty, but it's not dirty. It definitely has like an earthy type of vibe, but very, very green. You have got to love green fragrances. This also does have a bit of that lily of the valley, which is kind of giving it that slightly floral push. But it does have some citruses in here as well, which is kind of giving it like a bright, zingy effect. However, this fragrance is extremely green. So you really have got to like green fragrances. But man, this is such a gorgeous wear. And this is one of the newer ones to my collection. And one thing that I found out about this house, Anthologie, is that they're actually the sister company to Laboratorio Olfativo. And I've talked about Laboratorio Olfativo on this channel quite a few times. I have 3 or 4 fragrances from them. So this is a newer discovery for me. And I've smelled a few of the others from this house, and they are really, really good. So I'm looking to dive into this house and explore it a bit further to kind of see if, any intrigued me enough to buy a full bottle, but this one definitely did from first spray. Also in this one, you do get like some beeswax in here, which is giving it like a very, very subtle sweetness, but it just adds to the overall vibe of this fragrance. But this is a perfect one for this fragrance right here. Screams springtime to me. So I'm looking forward to really hitting this fragrance hard in the springtime. This will be in my rotation for sure. It's a gorgeous wear and definitely one to check out. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Cedre Mutine by Anthologie. Next up, from the house of Roos&Roos, we have Malamata. Man, this one is just very crisp, green, has a slight floral quality to it. It is overall very fresh, and it also is slightly herbal, but very aromatic. This one kind of really disperses once you spray it. And on my skin too, once I start to push a little bit more into the dry down, it still remains very green, but there is this soapy-like quality that starts to come to the forefront of this mix, which I really, really enjoy. It just brings an added freshness to this, which just makes it extremely just refreshing to wear. And this one was perfumed by one of my favorite perfumers, Dominique Ropion. Man, amazing work here. And this is the only fragrance I have from the house of Roos&Roos. However, there's another fragrance that they have called, I think it's Glibos. I'm butchering the pronunciation. I'll put a picture of it here. But this is the other fragrance from that house that I'm really, really interested in. So I think, whenever I make my next purchase from this house, it'll probably be that fragrance there. Man, this is such a beautiful one, but you've really got to kind of bitter green scents. But that bitterness kind of starts to subside once you do push into that dry down. But there is some hay in here, which has added kind of an extra earthiness. But overall, this fragrance is just very green and refreshing. I love it. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Malamata by Roos&Roos. And finally, from the house of Atelier Materi, we have Cedre Figalia. Man, this one is just a very fresh, green, plump, juicy fig that is creamy like a smoothie. It does have a very, very slight lactonic quality to it. However, it's not overbearing or it doesn't come off cloying by any means. But man, you also get a bit of woods that start to push forward in the dry down of this fragrance. It's almost delicious in a way. You almost want to eat this fragrance. I love the wearing experience here. And this house in general is a house that has really impressed me. I do have a couple other fragrances from this house. Man, they are just killing it. In terms of fragrances that really focus on fig in my collection, I would say I probably like this one the best. It's just so plump, juicy, bright. And it does have that kind of slight, subtle sweetness as well. man, it is just so delicious. Like I said before, you just want to eat this fragrance. It smells that good. But yeah, this is a great one and definitely one to check out. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Cedre Figalia by Atelier Materi. All right, guys, so that's all I have for you for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content. And let me know down in the comment section, what types of fragrances do you gravitate towards in the springtime? Are you like me? Do you really enjoy green fragrances? And if so, what do green fragrances kind of represent for you? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Well, I hope you guys are staying healthy and well, and I'll see you in the next video.